On behalf of Mulholland Positioning Systems, we'd like to thank you for selecting your new Mulholland Walkabout. This presentation will cover all sizes and models of our walkabouts, starting with the Baby Walk, the Walkabout 1, the Walkabout 2, the Walkabout 3, and also there is a Walkabout 4. Let's get started. Attached to your walkabout, there will be, your manual will be attached in this packet. Open your manual up to page 4 and 5. On page 4 you'll have a list of the components. On page 5 it will give you the location of the components described on page 4. Please familiarize yourself with the terminology of all the components listed in your manual. The Baby Walk comes in one configuration, again with the thoracic sling, the pelvic sling, and the set board. The difference between the components on the Baby Walk and all other walkabouts, adjustments are made basically the same. The main difference being on the Baby Walk is that your adjustments are on thumb-type brackets to the back column for the thoracic, for the pelvic, and for the seat. Because of the weight, these can be obtained without a wrench, so they are finger-tight adjustments. In addition to the components, the actual tilt of the upright column is also a finger-tight adjustable knob located on the rear, and that will allow you to shift the tilt of the upright column so the individual comes farther forward or back, and simply finger-tightening firmly the adjustment knob to the back. Additional features that come with the Baby Walk are 3-inch casters, swivel casters in the front and the rear. The rear have a braking mechanism that you push down to lock, lift up to release. Also on each caster is a lockout, so we can lock all 4 casters or maybe just the back 2 that will not allow the caster to swivel, so we can lock out the swivel. Lifting it up into the shallow channel puts it into a swivel position. The deep channel will put it into the lock position. In addition to the caster setup, we have height adjustment. We can loosen the thumb tightening knob, and that will let us lower and raise the upper column with all the supports. Once we have a desired location, we'll turn the knob and finger tight it firmly into place. And as mentioned before, we also have the tilt mechanism, which is the same type of a locking device as the upper column. The Walkabouts 1 and 2 are basically the same configuration, the size being the main difference. We will later discuss the tuning of the components on both the Walkabout 1 and 2. Each Walkabout comes with the CE mark labeled on the top of the left side of the frame, and includes the serial number of the unit. The bases on the Walkabout 1 and the Walkabout 2 come in 2 basic configurations. Depending on what you've ordered, you will either get a base that has a fixed rear caster and a swivel caster in the front. The swivel caster in the front has the ability to lock out the swivel so it will only be in one direction. Another option that you may receive is a base that has 4 swivel casters. Each caster also has a swivel lock, so I can lock out the rear casters if I choose, and or the front casters, either way. Another option to the base is you may have selected the expandable width base. The width base has 3 settings in 1-inch increments that will allow you to widen the profile of your base. Additional options on the Walkabout 1 and 2 bases will be a wall protector, a round wheel on the front section of the frame and also on the back section of the frame. This will help when going against a wall so the unit travels away from the wall and does not mar your wall. The units come with optional wheel sizes. This particular base is showing the 6 by 1.5 inch wheel. This base is showing the 8 by 1.25 wheel. And this base is showing the 8 by 1.75 wheel, available on the Walkabout 1 and 2. Another feature is our no backs. The no backs are located on the rear stationary wheel only, not available on the rear swivel. By turning the knob down, this will allow you to lock out the no back, so it will only travel forward and will not travel back. To release it, turn the knob counterclockwise, which frees the wheel in both directions. On all the bases, they're included with the extension on the front frame. This stabilizes the unit primarily for outdoor use. It has 1-inch increments that you can adjust according to what is your desired depth. Pull that in and out. This will help also with the unit when it's being used, the reciprocation of the individual. If the wheel is moved farther forward, a lot of times it will prevent the toe from interfering with the front caster. On the Walkabout 3 and 4, your caster size is going to either be 8 by 2 inch or 8 by 1.25. The Walkabouts 1, 2, 3, and 4 come with a locking brake. On a base that has 4 swivel casters, your brake is going to be a toggle that locks into a forward position on each side. Push down to release, lift up on the handle. On the bases that have a stationary rear caster, they are available with the no backs, and the brake is in a little bit different position than the swivel wheel. It has 2 adjustment screws at this point. Loosen these. You can slide the brake back on this channel, set it to the desired tension, and then your toggle brake works in the same fashion, pushing it down to lock, lifting it up to release. In addition to the sizes previously discussed, there are also 2 different models. There's a Model D and a Model C. These are available on the size 1, 2, 3, and 4 walkabouts. The difference between the C and the D is, on the C, the upper front column is a stainless plain column, and it supports the headrest, the thoracic support, the pelvic support, and the seat, all the components, and they're attached to the back of the column with an adjustable release knob that will allow you to make your height adjustments. The setup on the seat comes in one specific configuration. For more options and a little bit more adjustment, the Model D comes with an aluminum front column, has an extruded channel to the front and to the rear, Your headrest, your thoracic support, your pelvic support, and your seat are all attached to the extruded channel. This allows you more options available because of that particular setup. That is the difference between Models C and Models D.